Hello, everybody. We are here and we're starting almost on time. So, thank you all for joining us yet again for another exciting episode of Those Natural Ones. And thank you for everyone who tuned in Friday for our special in person, sitting around a table. If you didn't, you should go back and watch it because it was pretty awesome. Leroy Jenkins and all. Before we get started, we do have a couple announcements. First off, I have to retcon a little something from last week because after you guys hold on, sorry, this is kind of loud. Let me turn this down just a little bit. There we go. After you guys were looting, I forgot about the second half of my loot chart here on my book. You also found 5 scrolls while looting through all of that stuff. So add that to your thing. So we'll get to that eventually. Before we get started,
we'll get to that.
Before we get started, a couple quick announcements, starting with, I know we just had one last Friday, but our next in-person sitting around a table rolling real dice will be next Friday, the 10th. So
all of the content
all of the content right at once. It just kind of worked itself out that the only 2 Fridays in April and May were just a couple weeks away from each other. So more content for you. And let's be honest, the live shows are just so much more fun. So join us.
With that.
Join us next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here, and we will continue this. But we have tonight to get through first. So before everything happens, Scott, do you want to tell them about your thing?
Sure. I just won't do it within 500 feet of a school.
Oh, God.
What?
No.
Why?
No, Scott, no.
Don't talk about your secrets.
We have a Patreon, patreon.com/those natural ones. We also have 868 YouTube subscribers, which is the number of milliseconds I have free time today. So I did not have a chance to Google that number and come up with, or reveal how the universe connects it to us. But check out our Patreon anyway. Give us some free time. Help support the stream. It's patreon.com/those natural ones. Weekly shout out to everybody at the Mutual level. So once again, thank you, Flora and Lester Marlatt and Don Marlatt, for your continued support. Check out the full list and our ticker at the mid screen and the end screen. Many levels to choose from. Many benefits all the way up. Patreon.com/those natural ones. Thank you.
Indeed. And when not there, where else can they find us, Emery?
Well, when you're not supporting us on Patreon and getting like the best of our content early, you can listen to the audio-only podcast form wherever podcasts are thrown out into the universe. Or you can also watch us live like we are right now, Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Kick, on Trovo. You can also interact with us on Facebook. You can also interact with our very own Butch on Butch's blog, on Tumblr.
Ask me questions. I will answer them. It's Tumblr.
It's Tumblr. That's what people get a Tumblr for, right? You can also interact with us on Twitch. Not Twitch. Yes, Twitch. But Twitter. See, I think that might be why he changed the name. X, if
It had
you're...
nothing to do with the ego.
It had nothing to do with ego?
All to do with practicality.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that totally tracks for him. You can also interact with us on Threads. Do remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications and make sure when you hit the bell, you hit all and not personalize. So that way you never miss an episode. Remember to share. Tell your friends. Sound off in the comments. Any and all engagement helps us out a ton.
Hey, and guess what? If you're subscribed to Daddy Bezos on Amazon, you can renew your Prime sub just like I am right now. There you go. You click subscribe, you go to use Prime sub, and check mark it to subscribe for free on Twitch. How great is that?
It sure is.
Fantastic. Anyway, thank you for that, Emery. Sorry, I'm getting in an argument with my dad in the comments about Eastern Standard Time versus Eastern Daylight Time because he was telling
Sweet mercy.
He told us it was EDT before time change, and now he's saying it's EDT now. Well, one of them is wrong, so I don't know which one. Anyway,
What about just
Conticaria have time
ET
zone?
to say Eastern as it is now?
indeed, Eastern Time, whatever time that would be.
ET.
Phone
Well,
home.
On home.
That applies to everywhere except Indiana because they don't actually switch.
Sorry, Indiana.
We shall dub thee Chronicles, the true keeper of how time works.
Indeed.
Eastern Daylight Time started in March.
Okay. So our dad was wrong when he told us Eastern Daylight Time in the winter. Get in the comments. Anyway.
We need not pick that fight at the beginning of the
Yeah,
episode.
we're not. Okay, we're moving on. Anyway, thank you for all your support, Father, dearest. I think that's it for the comments. Sam, what happened on Friday? It feels like it was just yesterday.
I just got super bright. This isn't working like it was supposed to. So I give up. Last session, we sat around the table together and in person to engage the Twilight Coven. We began by approaching the tree and attempting to find our way up, and as we drew closer, the 5 members of the Coven revealed themselves at the very top of the tree's structure. And before we could act, one of the Coven called to the Jabberwock to attack the
Legally
party.
distinct.
Sorry, Jabberwock. With some thanks to Leroy Sneaky Cheeks Jenkins, the fight did not go quite as planned.
Also legally distinct.
Climbing, falling, sleeping, confusion, and many attacks between both parties ensued as we took out the Jabberwock and the Twilight Coven. After a brief time of canvassing the area and looting, the magic holding the massive tree and its structures together began to fail now that the Coven was dead. Before the tree began to fall, we uncovered clone potions. We stuffed the ones for the Coven and Titivolus into the bag of holding, hoping that the Coven would meet a second very timely end. Unfortunately, there was one clone potion broken, and it belonged to none other than the vampiric butthole Strahd. Reuniting with the Sky Pirates on the ship, we called a vote and decided to take the ship back to the material plane via the mechanism that Captain Sid had created from the amulet. Aiming for Torchiv, we appeared in Conticaria to a city under attack by Nautilus ships. Using sending, we were able to contact the general, who told us that we had been missing and presumed dead for 3 years. She instructed us to meet with them at Grundletractor Manor in Rockrialt.
We're going to have to change that name. I'm sorry.
I refuse. Just like Elric will always be Leroy Sneaky Cheeks Jenkins for me.
Thank you, Sam. And that is where we will pick up as your ship emerges. Explosions left and right. You see the nautiloid ships surrounding dozens, peppering the sky around you. You see smoke rising from buildings below you. You hear loud billows left and right. Everybody make a perception check for me. Start this game off strong with some good rolls.
Hey,
Now you're asking way too much.
My wisdom modifier is now 0, so hopefully
Oh, hell yeah.
I can have some
Nice.
sane rolls.
You've improved.
That is one thing to keep in mind. We did level up after last game, but the character cards are not updated yet, so we apologize. They will be updated by next week. Ember with a 22, Gwen with a 25, Arnon with a 17, Orpheus with a 15, Butch.
I know.
Butch with
double digits.
I know, right? Butch with a 12,
Fantastic.
and Elric with a 10. Elric, Butch, Orpheus.
Also, just to point out, if they were on our second tier of Patreon or above, they would have access to our weekly character
There you go.
sheets
They would already
right
know
now.
everything
They've
that's
already
changed. Elric, Butch, Orpheus, and Arnon. You guys don't really notice anything else of much import because you're kind of focused on all these ships and all these explosions and the ship weaving and listing left port and starboard as you're traversing through the skies above the city. Gwen and Ember, you two actually notice this city is not under attack. This city, there's no battles going on underneath you. It's all focused on the ship itself. The fires, the smoke seem to have been put out. There's still smoke and a little bit of smoldering ruins in certain areas, but the battle seems over. And all the explosions and everything are aimed towards this ship that just appeared over the city. You guys hear the captain yell out, I think we need to leave.
Mm-hmm. I'm game for that.
Shouts out to the deck crew. He's like, full sail. See how much speed we can get out of this thing.
To Rock Rialt.
So you guys start heading towards the southwest, and you notice quickly a line of nautiloid ships start appearing in front of you. I don't think that's such a good idea to go that way. We got to make it out of here. The south looks blocked. He whips the wheel starboard, and you start listing to the right. Some of you, actually, everybody make a strength saving throw as this ship does this sharp turn to the right, to the starboard side.
Wait, mine should be +3.
Your strength saving throw?
Yeah, because of the Blood Hunter feature.
What Blood Hunter feature?
Emery had it fixed in there, but it doesn't appear to be working right now.
Let me take a look.
It might be just because of the re-import of your character sheet. Yeah, I see the +3.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll fix that in just 1 second. I'll fix it on your sheet.
Dark Augmentation, is that it?
Saving throw bonus +3.
I think it was the dark augmentation.
All right, cool. It's fixed now, so
Okay.
for the future, Orpheus with a 25, Butch with a 9, Arnon with a 10, Gwen with a 10, Elric with an 8. Ember, roll me a strength saving throw.
Make sure you flex when you do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh!
could be like 2. Did it go?
I have not seen it, no.
And I don't know what I'm doing.
There it goes. Ooh,
4.
that's a 6 total.
Thanks for jinxing me.
Gwen, Arnon, and
Getting
Orpheus,
flexed.
you all reach out and grab a hold of railings and ropes and pillars and everything as this ship turns. Butch, Elric, and Ember, the three of you, the turn takes you by surprise. You lose your footing and you start tumbling across the deck. Each of you slamming into the side rail and taking 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam hard into this side rail as the boat continues to list starboard and take this sharp turn away from this line of ships blocking your path. Shit. Any other suggestions?
I don't suppose anyone sees a way around them.
Well, we could cross dimensions again and come back in another area. I imagine we shouldn't go back to the Feywild, though.
I know.
Whatever we're gonna do, we need to do it now.
Yeah, run down to the engine to prepare a shift.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, the console's up next to him, next to the wheel. All right, where are we going?
Sigil.
Sigil. All right.
Yes, please.
You go. You slam the button. The energy starts. You feel the vibration of the energy around the ship as almost like that.
Feel it.
Elongation, almost like warp drive style feeling takes effect, and in a split second you find yourself floating outside of Sigil. Ember, this is the first time that you have seen this place in real life. This is that ringed city that you saw in your vision. This giant, you look and you see this centralized mountain peak, this long skinny peak, and floating around the top is this large ring, this massive, immeasurable ring. And you can see that inside this ring, on the inner, is a large, like, continuous city that goes around, almost like a halo world. And you find yourself floating just outside of it. You guys have a better place. Maybe we avoid your hometown for a while.
Are you familiar with Grundle Tractor Manor?
I have no idea what that is. Maybe we should. We don't know how bad that place is either. Maybe we should avoid Conticaria.
We can head to my home because I'd like to check it out anyway.
Ocalia.
Not koala.
Right.
We were told to report in.
You were told to report in, but you can't really report in if you're dead. Perhaps maybe, hey, creepy bone girl.
Yeah.
You have more, I think you probably have more subtle ways of moving around than a big fucking flying ship made out of branches, right?
I mean, I could become something that moves more subtly, perhaps. But I myself am not particularly stealthy. I could also climb on the ceiling.
I'm talking about maybe potentially long distance transportation that's not a big ass fucking ship.
Shit. No, you're right. Yeah.
So
I can take us from one tree to any other tree in the same plane.
So I'm sure this Grundle estate or whatever fuck you're talking about has some trees on it, right? Mm-hmm. So how about we bring you back to the plane somewhere far the fuck away from whatever the hell those little seashell ships were, and then you guys can transport through there and come out maybe a little bit under the nose of the enemy.
Are we going to go to Ember's homeland first and then teleport to a tree I know in Rockrail?
Sure.
Well, not to be that person, but maybe there's another option. Remember the city we saved from Strahd? That's technically on our plane.
Barovia.
And we could probably check in, seeing as Strahd escaped.
So you want to go from fighting a bunch of fucking weird-ass witches to potentially the homeland of a vampire that you've already killed once that probably ain't too happy with you?
Well, when you say it that way.
We don't even know if he went back. Speaking of which, shall we even entertain pulling out the sword again?
Do not recommend.
At this point,
Road.
you see Miri has walked up on deck like, what was all that noise that's and shaking about? Like, well, there's some shit going on. We were under attack there for a minute.
Puff my hair up like the aliens guy and just go, mind.
It's like, Captain, if it truly has been 150 years, if we're back on the material plane, maybe we should find our way back to Gaviota. See if there's anyone still there alive after this 150 years we've been gone. He's like, yeah, I was already thinking that. Let's get these folks where they need to go, and then we got to take care of our own and figure out what's going on with our home. We'll still be in touch, though, after we drop you off. If you need anything, you call us on the little rock there, and we'll get to you as soon as possible.
Any votes for Disney World? Disney World?
That sounds like a hellscape.
Disneyland
Sounds like something that Hugh would make.
Who's paying?
I will say I can only really use tree stride once per day. Or I'm not tree stride, transport via plants only once per day at this point. Not strong enough to do more than that. So we should probably use it to get us to somewhere we're going to be for
Technically, you already
a
used
day.
it once today.
Oh, son bitches.
It's been a really long day.
It's been a really... It sounds like you guys should find a place to sleep before you do anything, so... You said... where?
Yarp.
He points at you, Ember. He's like, you said you have a house somewhere that's not in this hellscape?
It's in the middle of the woods, so... I mean, we've obviously been gone for a little while, but I wouldn't anticipate that it's been occupied.
It's in the middle of the woods.
The middle of the woods sounds like a fantastic fucking place to go right now with all this shit going on.
I like the woods.
And you said it's outside of the country that they're all fighting over, so maybe you at least find a night before you can make it back to that shit.
It's not like in a city, but it's near like the mouth of a stream near a place called Korsk. But I don't know where that is from here.
Gwen and Butch, go ahead and make either a history or a survival check, since you guys traveled through there. With a 28 from Butch and a 19 from Gwen, you do remember the name Korsk sounds familiar. You do remember it's a somewhat small town that you guys traveled through on the way out. It's probably about 150 miles south of the mesh border. So you're familiar with the general location. You guys stayed in a tiny little kind of rundown inn for a night there on your travels.
Sounds good.
We weren't there for long, but I think we've been there, Ember.
Yeah.
Can you help the captain
Well, if it's
steer us there?
if it's your house, you just come up here, you think about your house, you press this button, and we should fucking show up there.
Let's do that.
All right.
I guess I'm thinking about the woods and the way the sun comes through the leaves and all my little forest friends and the different animals that I have sleeping in the beds that I'm going to have to clear out for all you guys. Unless you would like to sleep with some of my friends. And then I'm going to press the button.
You press the button, and again, within a moment, you find yourselves away from Sigil and hovering over this canopy. Not as dense as the Feywild, and at this point it's fall, so it's still fairly colorful leaves, but more oranges and yellows and browns and more normal, non-fantastical colors. Ember, you instantly recognize areas. It's been a few years. Things have changed slightly, but a little more overgrown, a little more. But you quickly recognize a few trees that you're familiar with. You know your house is close. You know your house is just below.
How do we get to the ground again?
Depends if you want to go the fast way or the slow way.
The way I don't have to get injured.
Hey, Elric, how you doing with that magic? You still you tapped out for the day, or you able to help these?
I'm pretty tapped out.
All right, I guess it's the ropes then. Starts.
Before we just descend the ropes, does anybody want to look around first to make sure that we don't see any unexpected movement?
That's a fantastic idea.
Sure.
Probably smart.
Perception checks, anybody who's looking.
I will be aiding someone.
Rolling perception.
The dreaded 8s.
Oh my god. You and those fucking 8s on perception. Why? Okay, so Emery, the thing's doing something weird. It's not the chat box for me that I pop out for the stream. It's not staying. Yeah. It's not staying at the bottom. It's staying in one spot, and then I have to constantly scroll down.
That's weird.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
thank you, Foundry.
Yeah, thank you, Foundry. Orpheus with the classic 8, Ember with a 22, Butch with another 8, Elric with a 16, Gwen with a 27. Arnon, are you rolling? Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think he's having router issues.
Oh, fantastic. I can never tell if Scott's frozen or if he's just not paying attention.
So mean.
All right. Gwen and Ember. Most of you who don't really can't see the forest through the trees, as it were, but Gwen and Ember specifically, you two notice cameras will go back to normal in just a minute once Scott fixes his internet issue. You guys do notice a little bit of movement down there, but nothing concerning. You see a few birds flying. You see, with a 27, Jesus, Gwen, you see a few critters scurrying through the trees, small squirrels, and you can even see down through the canopies, down towards the ground, you see a few foxes and deer and stuff kind of maneuvering through there. Just nothing concerning, just everything looks very, very normal and very run-of-the-mill.
If anybody's concerned, I can probably carry one of you on my back while I climb down.
I would say it looks normal, Ember. Maybe too normal.
Oh. It looks like a forest to me.
Yeah. I'm kidding.
Seeing the spark in Butch's eye, Orpheus looks over and says, "Not you, Butch. I don't think I can carry you."
No one can carry me. I carry you.
I bet I could carry you if you gave me the opportunity. If I became something large enough, like a war horse,
Or the
Yes.
giant eagle that dropped some witches recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna
Might have been
start
my finest hour.
climbing down as this is happening.
All right, go ahead and make. Since this is
Can we before we go, can we stuff our pockets full of food?
sure. Actually,
Mind-
before you go, Miri
Good sign.
runs down. It's like, oh wait, 1 minute. And runs down and grabs a couple bags full of stuff for you. He's like, here. I don't know when we're going to see you again, and I don't know what you are all getting into, but here are some provisions, so hopefully to keep you guys fed for the time being.
I like to imagine she got us like the colorful plastic square Pirates of the Caribbean lunch
Absolutely.
boxes.
Yes,
Oh,
she wrote a
yeah.
little note in each one of them.
Some pirates booty in there.
And Sid turns to you all and is like, all right, well, we got to go now that we appreciate everything that you've done for us, and we are in your debt, getting us out of here, out of the Feywild and all of that. And but we've got folks of our own to check in on. It's been a long time. We don't know if any of them are still alive or not. So we're going to go. We're going to drop you off here. We're going to head towards our home and see what's left.
Orpheus kind of walks up to Captain Sid, kind of a little more considerate than he normally is, reaches out a hand and shakes his forearm. Says, "Good luck, Captain."
As to you, keep yourself safe. And if you ever, next time.
What's that bar you were talking about back in the day?
Oh, fuck, I
Maybe-
don't remember the name of it. Emery?
Someday we can rendezvous.
Anytime. Next time I'm in this side of town, this side of the world, I'll look you up.
Butch is gonna thank Miri.
It's a date.
Oh, Butch. And she walks up and, like, this little halfling, she, like, finds the closest box and, like, jumps up on it and gives you a big hug around your shell.
I give her a careful hug.
Your skill has improved significantly, and I am very, very proud of your cooking abilities that you've learned with me over the past week. So,
I'm not gonna cry.
Arnon, do you want to
Thank you.
say goodbye to your friend from the pirate ship as well?
hey, same to you, buddy.
Oh, I thought you were referencing the helm where he broods.
Arnon can brood anywhere.
It's fair.
You watch your six, or I just might put a bullet in the back of your head next time I see you.
Why are you guys like this? Gwen says out loud.
You gotta have fun with some people, Cher.
With that, Orpheus, with it, making sure he's in full view of the captain, throws his leg over the banister in dramatic fashion. You know,
Fantastic.
of course, making sure his posture is perfect.
Of course.
And then starts climbing down the rope.
All right. As you all climb down, everybody make an athletics check for me.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Heyo.
Yes, it's used for climbing.
But this is descending. So I'm going to descend real fast.
Oh, so Zember.
I'm glad I didn't carry someone.
All right. Gwen with a 16, you start descending fairly easily. Butch also 18, no issue whatsoever. Orpheus with a 15, no issue. Elric with an 11, you slip a little bit as you're climbing, but you're able to catch yourself. Ember and Arnon with a 7 and a 5, respectively. You
Oh, no.
guys whip your legs over the rail and you start descending down, and whether it's your hands getting a little too sweaty or your arms shaking, and you lose the rope and you start plummeting. Are you doing...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if there's anything you would like to try and do to catch yourself.
I'm going down the same rope as Butch, so I'm just going to stand on his head while he descends.
That's an acrobatics roll.
Yeah, make an acrobatics roll to see if you can catch a hold of Butch's shell as you fall past him.
Sure hope it's better than athletics.
Arden's just gonna sigh and go limp.
With a 9, you start going past, and you try and grab, and Butch, you feel these like frantic arms, like
help me.
clawing against your back as she continues to fall past you.
I will use my reaction to grab her.
Go for it. Make an athletics check. As Elric apparently throws out the Well of Many Worlds to see what...
22.
22.
Just drops Ember into some random
he drops
place.
the well down as Arden sighs and starts falling.
Oh no, Arnon leaves, seeks his fortune elsewhere.
Ember, as you are like clawing onto Butch's back and you cannot find purchase, suddenly you start sliding past him, and right at the last minute you feel this big meaty turtle hand grab a hold of your arm and catch you right there. Arnon, you're just taking it.
It's
Can I try to
that
catch
kind of
Arnon?
day.
Oh no.
You want to try? You want to try and catch Arnon?
I just don't want to see him just plummet however high we are.
You can
If,
try.
if
Pull me
it's
off
happening
with him.
initially within 30 feet, I want to try something.
Sure, I'll say you're within 30 feet.
Something.
All right. Assuming he's falling in line with the rope, I'm going to try to Misty Step over to him, catch him, and grab the rope and brace us both.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
I'm just gonna be like Eeyore if he gets me.
I guess I can't even fall right.
I rolled really good.
26. Yeah, you misty step over to him. You, very Nightcrawler-esque, as you just bamf right behind him, grab him, and then reach up and brace yourself on the rope. And
Are you
Armin,
all right?
you just feel that instant, like that momentum stop around your chest
I
as
just
you see.
sigh. I was out of Misty Step, so
That was literally my last
Let it
spell slot, so don't expect me to do any more.
But with that, the rest you're able to descend the ropes through the canopy. Ember,
them's the ropes.
them's the ropes. Ember, you find yourself in a very familiar forest. You see lights peeking through, kind of dotting the sky around you in this kind of cresting into evening sun at this point. Just beams of light peeking through the canopy, illuminating spots along the carpet of fallen fall leaves. You look around, you know where you are, you've been here before, you know your house is probably about 50 feet right past a row of trees, right to your, like, more or less directly in front of you.
It's straight ahead, guys.
It's like dark, right?
It's still right before dusk, probably. Like the sun is just now starting to go down.
Give us a little bit of time to settle in.
You know, Ember, it's just occurred to me. Do you know exactly how long it's been since you left?
I have no idea, but I can tell that it's a little bit more wild out here. Like, I've spent so many years cultivating a garden area, which I don't see right now, and it's familiar, but it still looks slightly different. Like the forest has taken it back a little, so I don't know.
We should probably keep an eye out for anything else we don't recognize. Let us know if anything looks suspicious.
Okay.
So
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as you all approach and walk through these last few trees before going into that somewhat of a clearing area that you worked so hard to cultivate, would you like to describe to the group what that looks like, what your home and the immediate area surrounding your home looks like?
Sure. You can hear the little bubbling of water from the creek nearby. And you can hear birds chirping. And the clearing itself is not very large. There's rocks on one side, and then the cabin that I've built, since I'm not really a builder, is like half stone for the base of it to do the foundation, and then there's some mismatched tree logs that have created the rest of the walls and thatch for the roof. If this was a day where I was here all the time, you would also see fire smoke coming out of the chimney.
But currently you don't. Currently it is cold. There is holes in the thatch. You see the front door hanging open slightly. Claw marks. Large. I mean, you and Gwen and Butch would recognize, like, bear claws and other large predatory animals, trails.
I didn't get any of my friends.
You see, all in all, the bones are still there. The bones of the house. Don't get excited, Gwen.
This is the one-shot crossover I've been yearning for.
You see...
Oh, it's gonna be Vito.
You see, the house is still there. It's definitely been left alone for quite a number of years. You see vines and undergrowth creeping up almost the entire way up the sides of a few sides of the cabin itself. All in all, still in decent shape. Just looks like it's been left for a while.
I'm gonna go in. You guys are welcome to come. My house is your house. We might want to consider gathering some more veggie stuff for that hole. That is over one of the beds.
Anybody else concerned about these claw marks?
They look like
They
they're
look
from something
pretty
big.
old.
Hi, we'll look at them closely.
Uh,
17.
Puts his eye on the scratch mark.
But you sound really quiet and far away.
That's not good.
Yeah, like not like your mic's working. Almost like your mic's not working. It's weird. With a 17, you look at the claws, and yes, they very bear-like. It almost seems like there was at one point in the history of this building, there was a bear, and it wanted to get in. Potentially, it smelled something inside that it wanted to get to. You do notice that these claw marks are old. It happened a long time ago. It's not... You don't notice any, while looking around, you don't notice any, like, fresh bear droppings or anything like that to indicate that anything that large or dangerous has taken up permanent residence here. More like it investigated a while and moved on.
Okay.
Ember, as you enter the house for the first time, and you're not even sure how long, would you like, taking into account the fact that it has been a long while, and taking into account that it is in the middle of the forest and animals have come and go as they pleased, would you like to describe the interior of the cabin and the current state of it to the team?
It kind of looks like the scene of a crime. Like the table is knocked over. The book that I was reading when I was so rudely taken away by my vision. Actually, I was meditating, but the book that I was reading before then, the pages are all mangled and wet and everywhere, and there's just stuff strewn all over the place, and there's animal droppings and feathers and fur all over the place as well, and the critters that I've been caring for that I considered to be part of my family, I don't see them immediately. So I would like to explore the house.
Go ahead and make either a perception or investigation check. I'll let you choose.
Do the one that has the +5.
Absolutely. With a 15 perception, you take a look around, and at first you don't notice anything, any kind of movement or anything like that. You are kind of taken aback by the dystopian state of your home that you've cared for and built meticulously. After a few minutes, you start hearing the smallest squeaking noise.
Follow that squeaking noise.
Doesn't sound like, and you know well enough, this is not the squeaking of floorboards. This is not the squeaking of, branches or anything. This is an animal. This is a small critter. This is the squeaking noise of some sort of small animal. As you follow it, you find you find yourself standing next to one of the beds. It's been tipped over. Mattress or whatever mattress materials, any kind of
leaves.
Yeah, any kind of coverings, pillows, whatever that you were using for such accoutrement seem to be piled into a corner behind this fallen bed. And you look and you see, every once in a while, you see that pile just start rustling slightly, start moving a little bit.
I'm gonna grab a nearby stick and kind of like gently take off the top leaves.
As you start messing with it, you notice it stop and go silent. You kind of slowly move things out of the way. God
Little
damn it.
squeak. Try that again.
Inside, you find probably the size of a dinner roll. This single, tiny, kind of adolescent raccoon.
Yay. So I scoop it up because it looks very sad, and it's squeaking. It's very sad and it looks scared, and I hold it to my chest while I look for any signs that there's a mom nearby.
You don't notice any signs. However, being a nature domain cleric, you recognize signs of malnourishment. You recognize signs of kind of matted mangy fur. You see the sides, the ribs kind of showing under the skin and fur of this critter. It seems like has not been well taken care of.
I'm gonna tuck it into the top of my shirt so that I can continue to help get the house ready. But I'm gonna nurse this baby back to health, not under my shirt.
Yeah.
I could nurse like with a bottle, not
Not
nurse.
with a teat. It's
Yeah.
not going back to the nut milk.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Arnon, you got some nut milk? You guys take a few moments to...
We don't have a jar anymore.
Yeah. You guys take a few moments to walk around and kind of assess the area, and you notice no other creatures, no other critters. There's definite scat and signs of old nests and signs of old habitation from creatures that potentially used this as while passing through for one night's rest, potentially stayed there for a while before being chased out by other things. But other than that single lonely little baby raccoon, there doesn't appear to be any signs of any other recent occupation.
Now, Butch is gonna grab a broom or whatever and pitch in
Sure.
while being careful not to knock anything over.
Could
It's all
I?
knocked over. It's fine.
Oh.
Well, that take up a lot of space.
Could I tell that whether or not the raccoon would be still on a liquid diet, or if it would be old enough to eat solids?
Make a...
Just give it some Pepsi.
Yeah, make a nature check.
Jeez.
Nature?
Yeah. I guess that would be... Or animal... Oh, shit. It should be animal handling.
Can I do animal handling?
I'll let you re-roll it. That's fine. That was on me.
You best. Not much better.
12.
No, I didn't even get that good.
Ember got a 12
We
too.
the same,
You
though.
guys got the same.
Fire powers combined? 24.
No. Nice try
That
though.
is definitely how that works.
It's fine. It's not a high DC. You guys would know that this animal is still probably... It's hard to tell. It's going to be right on the verge. Like, could probably still be liquid only. Could probably start introducing solids. You're not sure. It would be more. You'd be more inclined to stay with liquids currently due to not necessarily the age, but the health of this creature.
Because it's getting dark and it's been a really long day, I'm just going to make some food for it, liquid food for it, and feed it, and it's just going to go to sleep right here while we get everybody else tucked in for the night too,
Fantastic. So
so that we can sleep, please.
again, through your powers combined, you're able to clean up, at least make the place livable. It may not be spotless, but it's like goes from the beginning of an episode of Hoarders to like close to the end. At this point, still stains, still probably some nasty smells. There's still piles in the corner, but at least you can see the floor now.
And I've gone from disgusted to just sad.
Exactly.
Oh.
You're able to realign the door and get the door rehung to the point where it's able to latch. You still see lights coming through different cracks in the door. You're able to patch up the hole in the roof to at least make it so rain, or if it does rain, it's not going to come directly in on whomever is
Just
sleeping
got really
below it.
excited that rain showed up.
Yeah.
Blue probably could have
Suddenly rain falls through the fucking
Yeah.
roof.
Thatch roof.
I did my best, okay?
Rain
No,
is
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I just don't want Rain, the person,
Yeah.
to fall through your roof.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she wouldn't know who Rain was yet. So you're able to make the house livable and make the house at least defensible and safe for a night's rest. More than likely, you would still want to take watches, just to keep yourself, because you don't. It's been years since you've been here, but that's up to you.
Yeah, for sure. He said, knowing full well he would probably not be asked to take a watch.
You still have 3 elves in your group.
Happy to take a watch.
Yeah.
So about those spell scrolls.
Ah. So, as you all wind down for the evening, Ember, I'm sure you create a fire in your fireplace after thoroughly checking it that there's no birds nesting in the chimney. I'm sure.
Right.
Butch, are you using some of your newfound cooking skills?
I mean, I haven't actually earned anything yet.
I'm for flavor. I'm saying.
Okay.
As you guys.
Do we have anything here? Do we have anything here to cook?
Well, Miri gave you 2 giant bags full of food before you guys left. You
Right.
open it up and you see some of those fish steaks as well as some fish jerky. Mostly everything is from those flying weird goldfish creatures, because that was the only protein that you guys had. But you also see some vegetables, some of those multicolored potatoes, some other odd Feywild vegetables.
Butch, I'm going to lean into my survival. My comfort zone. Going to make a simple stew with the vegetables and some of the meat, and then I'm going to take some more of the steaks and just roast them.
Fantastic.
That's less likely to be messed up.
Fantastic. Go ahead and make a
Gwen's going to be right
survival
over his
roll.
shoulder.
Sure.
If you want to say that's helping, go for it. Make it with advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know if that, or is it
saw Miri
helping?
do this.
Is it helping or is it hindering? Are you backseat cooking? Because then it would be disadvantage.
I am just, I'm just here for you, buddy. Just like creeping over his shell as he's bent over. It's moral support.
All right.
Flip a coin for backseat cooking.
With
Gwen
that,
would not backseat cook. She boils skulls. She doesn't make dinner.
that's true. With that, yeah, you're able to, without an issue, make a fairly wonderful smelling aroma come from this stew and these steaks. While Butch and Gwen are cooking, and Ember is caring for this small raccoon. I forgot what it was already. Orpheus and Arnon, what are the 2 of you doing?
Is there cover outside where I can kind of lean up against the wall without getting rained on?
Do you have?
Immediately outside the door?
I'm sure you have some sort of like overhang at least, if not a front porch, right?
Yeah, I'll go outside and just keep lookout.
Fantastic. Arnon, what are you doing?
I'll go to the other side of the building and keep lookout.
Fantastic. Elric, while they are all doing that, you reach in and you pull out these 5 scrolls that you picked up from the coven. You start looking through them. Go ahead and make... I'm going to say go ahead and make me one Arcana check to see if you can identify all 5 of these scrolls. This is not to...
One Arcana check.
This is not to transcribe these. This is just to...
It's just to
figure out if...
identify,
Yeah,
know what I'm looking
identify,
at.
know what you're looking at. rather
Gotcha.
than ritually casting Identify 5 times. Let's just do it with one Arcana check.
Okay. Okay. Big money, big money. It's been a long day. It's been a very, very long day.
You are not sure what these are. That's a natural 1 for our listeners.
Uh-huh.
You
Those natural ones.
you look at these scrolls, and this is magic beyond anything you've seen before. You are
Oh my
not
gosh, just ask Orpheus.
you are not sure what these would do, but you can still try and you are familiar with magic enough to know that if you took the time to study and transcribe these, you would learn the meaning during your transcription.
That's what I'm going to do. In
But
the
unfortunately,
night.
you do not know what you're transcribing with each one. So it's if you fail, you're not going to know what you fail on.
Okay.
Ignorance is
I'm going
bliss.
It sounds better.
Yeah.
to.
Guidance?
Ignorance is bliss unless you're me, and then ignorance is hell.
So,
Sounds
are you trying to transcribe these into your spellbook?
I'm gonna wait a day to regain my magical ability, and also maybe wait for someone to cast guidance on me.
Can't you ritually cast Identify? Would that work on those?
We're going to say he got a nat 1, so as of this point, no. It's not going to, because it's more fun that
brutal.
way.
I can give you guidance if you want to go in, into the dark. Going into it blind. That's what I meant to say. I apologize.
Going into a blind. Okay, I'm still going to wait because I would like to prepare the spell skill empowerment so that I can be extra ready for this. Yes. So we're gonna wait a day.
Skill
I'm gonna
and
put those away.
While Butch is cooking, I'm gonna just get in close to him, and I'm not like trying to be deceptive or sneaky,
I'm not trying.
but I'm keeping my voice low, I guess. Like I'm not just like, yo, Butch. So I'm keeping it low. Hey, Butch.
Yeah.
Do things feel different to you here? Not like here, but I mean, just, do you feel like you did before we went into the Feywild?
I do not. Things are much more clear now. I feel like I'm understanding things better. And what Elric says makes more sense. And I don't know, it's strange. And also my heart is breaking.
Yeah. Also that. Okay. I just doesn't feel like it used to. And with the shadows and then the coven and the Jabberwock and all the weird stuff in the Fae, it just, I don't know. I don't think I have that clarity.
Do you think you've been cursed?
No. I feel, you know how when you wake up from a dream and you're confused and things aren't really clear and you're still kind of holding on to that place you were in your head? Or if you're coming out of a vision, and you feel different and like you're holding on to something?
Well, you got real dark in that fight against the Coven.
Yeah.
And I know Arnon warned us that sometimes the Fae can stick with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we're home-ish. Adjacent.
Nick, I'm making an insight roll.
Go for it.
I know she's not being deceptive, but I'm trying to be perceptive. Rolling well, though.
With a 13, I mean, you know Gwen well enough to know that she's not really lying to you.
No, I'm just trying to pick up on subtle things that even she may not be aware of.
What do you think, Gwen?
I think he'd recognize that something feels heavy, or that Gwen feels heavy and different in a subtle way, and not necessarily like a it's not clear. He recognizes that she doesn't know how to put a finger on it yet, but can see that can kind of understand that something's different than it was before.
Well, Gwen, we've all gone through the darkness, metaphorically.
I believe
coming
in a
out.
thing called
Literally, too.
I know you,
We've waded through the darkness.
and I imagine some of that darkness is cloying to you.
touching me, touching
And
you.
I know Saloon, specifically Sunny Moonbow, she may not be who you want to talk about right now, but you walk your path that dances between the light and the dark. And if your powers of darkness are growing, I just want to remind you that the light is here as well. And I will always be here for you. And with that, Butch reaches out and touches, what is Gwen holding? Anything?
Not at the moment.
Does she have any rings? No, she's got a fun little things on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's got, well, her dirty ass fingers. She's also got the bracelet that Rain made her. And her gloves.
Oh,
Butch
boy.
will touch Butch cast light, which you've never seen Butch cast before.
Wait, what does he cast? You broke
Cast-
up.
Oh, sorry. Butch casts the spell, the cantrip light. But it is not radiant like a sun. It is cool and protective like the moon.
Ooh. Definitely, like, calm, like contentment, or like a brief moment. Just knowing she's not
Sometimes-
alone.
Sometimes the world is in darkness, but Saloon will be there for us.
I think that
And
is
remember
something.
that only after the night will the morning come, but it will come.
I do think, Butch, thanks to you, that is something I'm coming around to. There's Sahanin's whole deal. With typical Gwen irreverency. But she's
She,
coming around.
she does not expect you to serve her, but I do ask that you come back to the light after dipping in the dark.
It's a duck and weave, right?
Yeah, it's like a dance, but I do not wish to lose you to the darkness.
Gwen, make a wisdom saving throw.
What?
You heard me.
Is it a
Oh
joke?
No.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh
no!
no!
Oh no!
That's an 11.
11?
Okay.
It was a nat 2.
As
Why don't
soon
you just make
as
10 louder.
Orpheus and Arnon make perception checks.
That
Wow.
was the best I've ever rolled perception.
Orpheus got a 19. Arnon got a 16. Hold on 1 second for me.
Oh my god, does Orpheus catch something first?
I can see things.
What time of day is it again? At this
Almost
point?
It's
night.
almost. It's going into
dusk.
twilight at this point.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second here. I gotta do something real quick.
I took off my backwards helmet since it's raining out. Don't want it to rest. Now I can see a little bit.
Orpheus, you see as you're standing there, what you see is a raven fly up and perch on the roof of the house. Nothing to be too concerned about. You are in the woods and all of that. Right after Butch says, what was that last sentence that you said? Something about I don't want to see you fall into the darkness.
Yeah, I don't want you to remain in the darkness.
Be lost to the darkness.
You hear
Wading through the darkness.
suddenly you hear a voice coming from one of the corners of the house. And neither do I. As you look over and you see your father standing in the corner.
Holy shit, Dad. Oh my God.
We thought you were lost. We thought you were all lost. Calliope
Which stands to attention.
Calliope told me that she heard from Elric earlier today. It has been 3 years. We assumed you all perished in the Feywild.
I'm really glad you're okay. Are you okay?
As he walks over and he actually embraces you.
Oh, jeez.
As
That's
you
not okay.
As he kind of pulls back, you see a slight welling in his eyes. For 3 years, I thought you were dead. We lost hope when we lost communication with your team. At first, we thought it was due to some weird communication glitches across the plane, but after the first few months and the initial wave of attacks, we assumed your team failed your mission and were lost in the Fae.
It wasn't for lack of trying. I know Elric exhausted his resources trying to reach you all, and we knew there was a risk of things going haywire when we came back.
And that it is. You are not to be blamed. We exhausted everything on our side as well. It was some, whether it be the natural misalignment of the Fae in the material plane, or it was some outside influence caused by the witches you were sent to dispatch of, or some other means. It seemed like all communication was lost between the three, or between the separate planes.
Speaking of witches,
I'm a witch, bitch.
perhaps we ought to empty our bag of holding.
Has
Do you
enough
think
time
it's
passed?
safe?
It's been hours.
What if they had something that would stop them from needing air?
Do we gain anything by doing that before we rest?
I'm not following.
We've found Ulrich, you filled that in, please.
When we eliminated the Twilight Coven, we found vials full of flesh that were about to serve as replacement bodies for them. We very quickly about to break into the bag of holding under the assumption that when they grew out of those vials, they would break, they'd be released, and then they would suffocate because the space within a bag of holding has no air to breathe.
That is a interesting interesting tactic. I understand your logic. Would it have not made more sense just to dispose of them while they were still in their, for lack of a better term, fetile form?
Everybody's a critic.
How would we? I mean, I was worried if they broke, then they would come back full form like a genie. But
That's a fair assumption.
does that mean there are broken bottles and full-sized people in the bag of holding right now?
Yeah, full-size dead people.
It is very possible. I'm not familiar with this magic. This is not something I've ever come across.
So can I just think about the halfling
Yeah.
and pull them out of the bag of holding? Is that what you want me to do?
Pull out one of them.
I'll do
The
that.
halfling?
I'll grab him. Her.
I'm just gonna hold out the bag of holding, like,
I'll think about the halfling and yank her body
So
out of there.
you think about the halfling, and you reach in, and you feel a jar.
A jar.
Yeah.
Like the
Like-
shape of the vial I threw in there.
Yes. The same jar that you threw in there. You feel the same shape in your hand.
Sounds like it feels like she's still in the jar, guys. Get ready to step on this thing. I'm gonna toss it at Orpheus's feet.
So you
He's
whip
got
this
big metal feet.
you whip this jar out and throw it at Orpheus's feet. And yes, the jar is still there. You still see the creature inside of it. It's laying there inert, and then as it lays there, suddenly it starts growing again and starts pressing against the inside edge of the jar, and you see the jar start cracking and splitting.
But just
Throw my spear at it.
smash.
Should we toss it back in?
Orpheus,
can we smash it?
you can do whatever you want to do with it.
I'm smashing it.
Butch is smashing it.
I'm saying that to the party.
I was going to throw my spear at it.
I threw it at Orpheus's feet so he could step on it.
Butch goes over and smashes on it real quick, and yeah, it shatters under your foot, and you just feel like the sensation of stepping on like a large rat as it just squishes underneath your foot.
I use my hammer.
Oh, you
The
said you
warhammer.
stepped on it.
No,
Oh, no.
Arnon wanted Orpheus to step on it.
Okay, yeah, and it just like Gallagher's watermelon just all over the floor.
Sorry, Orpheus. I tried to give you a little fun.
don't know if you recall what happened the last time I was around these witches, but I was being a little careful.
So now we know that works, I guess.
Yep.
So there's your
we
answer,
also
Dad.
know that throwing things in the bag actually suspends any
Ooh.
progress.
Well, those jars might be special.
It's at least a working theory.
Do you think it would prevent decay as well?
Potentially, as long as whatever is in there doesn't need oxygen.
I could
In
throw in
either
some.
case,
just to
there's
be
4
dinner.
more where that came from.
Well, let's smash them.
All right, I'll think about another one.
All right. So through the series, you pull out each one of them and smash them and fucking splatter their essence all over the floor of Ember's freshly cleaned house.
Oh, whoops.
Is it a dirt floor?
It's a stone floor.
Oh, we can rinse it right off then.
Hymir turns to you and says, there's 3 years of debriefing that needs to happen. There's a lot you missed, and we need to know what happened to you and where you've been for the past 3 years. But
For us, it was only 8 days.
8 days. Ah, the
Yeah.
Feywild. I hate that place.
There was one good thing there. One.
No, right?
And it was these little amazing gnomes on
The-
multicolored.
the
on
hummingbirds? With the
Yes!
little hats.
Yes, with the
You've met them.
bowlers and the multicolored. Yes, they were wonderful.
God,
My
he knows how
favorite
to
and
top
only part of the
He knows
Feywild.
Top Hunk.
I was there too.
Well, but now we just assimilated you.
Uh-huh.
You are with us now. I'm talking about of the things that we left there. Only good thing we encountered. But now you just come along with us, unless you want to stay here. But I say come along with us.
Well,
I'm only
Dad,
coming in
there's-
to bring my
all-
baby raccoon.
all of you need rest, and it'll be the morning before I can take you back. I'm not sure if you still have the ability to take us back to the estate or not tonight, but I would need to rest before I have the ability.
Same.
So,
One thing I want to do though is I want to take a little jar and I want to just scrape up some of the squishy stuff, assuming that it's like a tiny person got squished, right?
it looks like, at this point, it looks like if you take a steak and smash it with a mallet.
Okay,
Like
so it's like
Hammer.
meat and viscera that
Yes.
would get gross when left out, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna scoop some of it up, scrape it into a jar, put a cork on it, and I'm gonna put it in the bag of holding because I want to test the suspension theory
Oh,
to see if it decays in the bag of holding.
Gwaithroness, I don't know what you're doing with that, but I was really hoping
want-
those 3
Don't
years
cook with
made
that.
you a little less unique.
All of this, yes, I think it got worse, but that's beside the point. I just want to. In theory, things might be suspended in the bag of holding,
Hey,
so
you
I just
could-
want to see if this continues.
We could
to-
try with this, and I pull out the little dead pixie.
Oh god, I forgot you still had that.
You just have.
I
a
knock
dead
out
pixie.
whatever was in the jar, and I say, "You want to put it in here?"
Yeah, put it in there. Put it in the
Oh my
bag.
god.
Seeing this
Fine.
whole exchange going on, Orpheus is clearly disgusted and just walks outside.
Now,
Now we got a dead pixie in the bag.
he turns to you, Ember, and you see this tall, lithe wood elf male with kind of tanned skin, long black stick straight hair down to just past his shoulders in these kind of very natural browns and dark forest green robes, holding this large gnarled dark oak staff in his hand, and he turns to you and he's like, I'm assuming you are our gracious host. If you have the room, would you mind if I stay here with you and the team for the evening?
You are always welcome here.
He just kind of nods deeply at you. It's like, well,
But Butch over there has cooked us up some fish bacon if you want some.
that's the weirdest thing I think I've heard in a long time, and
It's
You've-
quite good.
you've met my
It's
daughter.
much better
so-
than his sandy eggs.
That's fair. That's fair. I cooked them probably 20 seconds too long, so.
Well, I suggest we all get rest, and then we can continue this conversation, hopefully with the rest of the council in the morning. So, at that point, we're going to go ahead and take our break because it is just about 10 o'clock. So,
Gwen's
Give us-
gonna settle in to meditate and just lean her head on her dad's shoulder.
I love it.
Minimal contact.
And he just doesn't even move. He just lays there or sits there and is. Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Daddy issues part 2. 3.
I was gonna say how many daddy issues sagas are we in?
Oh my god! With a
It's like 3rd or 4th at this point.
with a dirty 20, you notice you can feel his breathing slow, and you just sense this feeling of just relief to have you close. You can imagine that after, I mean, it's the equivalent of he literally thought you were dead for 3 years, and you showed up again. So
I
But
have
you
this
actually
image.
were dead
this
last
is
time.
the second time
yeah.
he has lost you, and the
I have this
second
image.
time you have been brought back to him. Sorry, Perry.
Oh, I just have this image of her dad putting his hand over hers, and you can see the moonlight shining out from under it.
I love it. We're going to go with that. So, stick with us. We'll be back in like 10 minutes and continue from here. So, we shall be right back. And we are mostly back. Sam will be back with us in just a minute. But, whoa, that was weird. All right, so as we continue, you see Hymir and Gwen kind of curl up in their meditation. Is there anything else the rest of you wanted to accomplish in this evening?
I don't think I have the spots for it.
Does Arnon go back outside, or does he hang out in the cabin with them?
I'll go back out.
And while we're keeping watch in a very King of the Hill,
Yep.
awkward masculine moment,
Yeah.
just kind of
Damn it, Bobby.
grunt, clear his throat, pulls out a water skin, pops it, kind of reaches over to Arnon. Rum?
Yeah.
Passes it over. So, Strahd, huh?
Super.
Yep.
That fucking sword.
Feeling any kind of way about it?
I'm feeling like it figures. Feeling like it figures.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's been going. I just hope no more of them have popped back to life.
You think you'll rebond with that sword?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like it'll be a last minute decision. I
Yeah,
don't
it's,
think anybody else uses lightweight swords.
yeah, it's certainly effective. But I could see why you might be leery after what it did to you before.
Yeah, that sword's a little bitch.
Well, I still have that bond action I can do with it and pull it off of you anytime you need me to.
Appreciate it.
Good talk.
Yeah.
And with that, Orpheus just continues drinking in silence, listening to the rain.
Fantastic. Well, if there's nothing else that you all want to accomplish, we'll go ahead and fast forward through the nights. Watches go by uneventfully. A few skittering of critters here and there. Hooting of owls. Rustling of leaves in the wind, but nothing to be concerned about. And for the first time in what feels like an eternity for you all, especially for you, Ember, you see the sun set. You see darkness and night take the forest. And even more impressive, the next morning you see the sun rise. You almost forgot how integral the day-night cycle has been to your peace of mind. But as the sun rises and you all come to consciousness, you notice Hymir kind of standing. Hymir's left the main cabin. He's standing on the porch now. A pipe in his hand. Rings of smoke, or a small stream of smoke coming out of it.
This music is metal.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I was just about to change it. I don't know why it went to some hardcore metal here.
It's the power of the circadian rhythm.
Yeah.
The most intense resting.
We've never felt so energized.
Let's go to... I don't know what this is. No. Sorry. Anyway, so what are you all doing as you come to consciousness?
Well, I should probably pick different spells.
I'm gonna
Well-
check on Rocky, the raccoon.
I'm guessing during my watch, Ernan was... He hasn't felt right since we got back, and he realizes that it was because he dropped that brand. And that brand has been up for months. Now it's not up at all, and it was kind of a comfort knowing that she was on the other side of the planet, not going to pop in at any time. So he's just kind of dealing with that during his watch. So
I am sitting on the thatched porch, cradling the baby raccoon in the crook of my arm, but also whittling on that piece of tree I took from the Feywild with a small knife.
Fantastic.
Butch is making breakfast.
Butch is making breakfast. Of course he is.
Is the raccoon like awake and just kind of sitting there?
Yeah, she's just watching. She or he just watching.
Can I wild shape into a raccoon and
snuggle?
introduce myself to it and snuggle if the option presents itself? If it's into
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
Okay.
I do that.
I do that.
Gwen wild shapes into a raccoon and climbs up the side of the chair, and just little tiny raccoon. Go ahead and make a animal handling check for me, Gwen.
At advantage because it's a raccoon.
Sure.
Okay. I didn't think that was gonna fly. Oh, 16.
You see this
I do speak into Ember's head and say, "It's me, Gwen." And then I focus on the
You see this raccoon just kind of like a little cautious at first, but not skittish. Just cautious of this strange other raccoon that appears next to him. Just kind of looking at you, not taking its eyes off of you. Not backing away, but just trying
Because
to
I
get a
can-
read on you.
Because I can speak to the raccoon, I'm just gonna tell it she's a friend.
You hear in your head, or well, you not in your head because you hear the squeaking and everything, and it speaks back to you. It
Squeak,
says,
squeak, squeak, squeak.
"Yeah, friends. Okay. Are we safe here?"
Regardless on whether or not we're safe, we will keep you safe.
Okay. It's been a while since I've had friends. Just kind of curls, kind of nuzzles back into the crook of your arm a little bit more.
it trusted that shady ass answer.
Well, it's a baby, so
Peace.
Yeah, babies
Babies
are
are dumb.
gullible.
I'm gonna climb up on Ember's shoulder and just like try to wiggle in to like snuggles.
you guys are making it really hard to whittle.
One track mind. I'm like, I will befriend this baby.
It takes a second, but after the convincing of Ember and everything, yeah, it kind of opens up and kind of comes out from the safety of the crook of Ember's arm and kind of heads over to you and kind of sniffs around you a little bit before just kind of like rubbing up against your fur.
Oh,
Aw.
yay! Cuddle time. So happy to see a creature that's not fucked up by the Feywild. Just a nice little natural baby raccoon.
With mange, apparently.
And then it gets into your mushrooms.
I did think about making some good shrooms, but it's not quite on a solid
Suddenly,
diet
the
yet.
baby mushroom or the baby raccoon is tripping balls on your mushrooms.
You're gonna have a great time, little guy. I'm the fun auntie. I do not condone giving babies drugs, just for the record.
Disclaimer.
I feel like I need to
Thanks for
say
clarifying.
that. Yeah. I don't condone that.
Disclaimer.
So,
Might
Do
be
not give infants
some,
drugs.
some things that we need to lay out
while
at like the
Gwen,
bottom of the screen.
while Gwen and Ember are snuggling a baby raccoon, and Hymir is standing on the corner smoking his pipe.
If anyone is looking to us for life lessons, it's really on them.
Yeah. And
Do not recommend.
Butch is making breakfast. What are the rest of you doing?
There's like a list of things that Elric wants to accomplish.
Okay.
Okay. First one. Going to pull a familiar from Faye.
Easy enough. You bringing Ethan back?
Please tell me he's still fucked up now.
It's just permanent now.
No, we're out of the terrible place. It's not gonna be Ethan.
Not Edgar?
Not Edgar.
Bruce?
I'm actually going to be
Yogi?
not Yogi. This time it's Hootie.
Oh, I forgot about Hootie. Easy enough.
Second thing. Going to cast sending to Amisra.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Hey, baby.
You up and alive and
You
walking around.
want,
God.
You up?
you want me and Gwen to compose it for you?
Absolutely
Yes.
not. Absolutely not.
Baby, your ass is still lightning.
Oh my god.
I got a thundercloud for you.
Not the education I planned on giving today, but here we are.
Make those cheeks clap.
I swear. Not you two.
Oh, yes.
Not you two.
Oh, yes. Elric, tell her about your buttholes.
Whoa.
Cannon.
Come on, Fireball. Tell her that you're hot.
I will have a zone of silence follow you to the end of the earth.
I'm still a raccoon. I didn't say that. I thought it into his head.
Speaking of raccoons, if you subscribe on our Patreon, you should definitely check out our player chat.
Absolutely. Check out our player chat. Okay, so I'm sending. Okay, the message that I send is.
ASL.
Wait, what?
No.
Did you just ASL him? Wow. The 90s called.
Oh my god. Okay, so okay, the words are
He's trying to squeeze it all.
Send
sorry,
you-
I'm late.
By
By 3 fucking years. You have done nothing but blow this woman off since you started seeing her.
Hey,
Not in a good way.
tell her you're gonna leave soon.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Leaving now, be there in 20.
In
there in
20
5.
what?
Years.
No, like I told her before we left where we were going.
You did.
She knew. She knew what
You
was
did.
possible. Okay, it's okay. So sorry, I'm late. Sent word to Calliope. Going to rendezvous at Grundle Tractor
No.
Manor.
We're changing that
Yes.
name.
That's 7
That was her
words.
surname.
That's
Hey,
7
if,
words.
if they get to call me Sneaky Cheeks or Extra Butthole, we're keeping Grundle Tractor.
Oh, I'm going to. So
helps
we
us-
are.
It helps us measure if we know where the grundle is.
Oh, God
Oh
damn
my
it.
god. It's like you get both or neither. This is the way this is gonna work. I've missed you terribly.
Aww.
Hope you've. I swear to God. Hope you've
Moved on. No.
stayed safe. Um, mm, safe. Will see you soon.
About to play Castaway,
all
and you're
25.
Tom Hanks.
Something like that.
The end of Tom Hanks at the end of Castaway here. No.
I've been dealing with a whole lot of Wilsons, and I've been losing my mind, not gaining it.
So, a second goes by before you hear a response in your head and says, Arnett.
Tell me there's a baby crying in the background.
This sending on speaker? What the fuck?
So is this Daddy? No.
Oh shit.
I guess
Are you my mummy?
Oh no. No, that's much worse.
All right.
Did you get your cigarettes?
Wait,
And the milk.
where's the milk, Dad?
Elric.
Finally found it.
Elric, is it really you? Rhett told us you were alive. But it's been 6 months. We're all held up at her estate. Come quickly.
Oh, he will.
I mage hand slap Arnon in the face.
Isn't your hand busy?
That's why. Wait, is the mage hand like the stranger?
No. I
I
swear.
cast Mage Hand. Very hairy Mage Hand.
I cast clean my room.
I'm gonna burn this whole fucking thing down.
Where did it all go wrong?
Episode 1.
Okay, after that,
I cast apple pie.
no,
Jesus.
no, not you, not you. Okay. The last order of business before I suggest we all leave quickly is I'm gonna inscribe those spells into my spell book after casting skill empowerment.
I pop out a raccoon form to give you guidance.
All right. Go ahead and roll me your first Arcana check.
Are you gonna identify him first so you know what you're?
Nope, we're not doing that because he rolled a natural 1.
False.
Yeah, no,
And it's more fun this way.
we're gonna let the DM. We're gonna let the DM have his fun.
Go ahead and roll your first Arcana check.
Okay.
You evil genius laughter.
Can
I'm doing this.
I
not
do
who-
a thing
You
and
dou-
cast enhanced ability on him?
Sure. You double your proficiency bonus for ability checks. Nice.
Yeah, I've picked Arcana for obvious reasons for skill improvement.
Indeed.
It says target has advantage on intelligence checks.
Yeah, that'll work. you-
Advantage?
Do you already have expertise, or did that pop up because of the skill empowerment?
That popped up because of skill empowerment.
Oh, hell yeah.
Normally,
Okay.
normally I just have a whole lot of intelligence.
Gotcha. So plus 13 is from fucking skill empowerment.
Yep.
All right.
And then advantage.
32. You learned the shit out of the first spell. The first, as you are transcribing this first scroll into your book, you get through and it hits you. The nature of this spell. This is a true seeing. This is the spell True Seeing.
True seeing.
Yep.
Just gonna
I've got
type
that.
that in here.
I was scared to death to use that in the Feywild.
Okay, scroll number 2.
Go for it. This might be my favorite one that you're going to get. 33. So, this is Otto's Irresistible Dance.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna-
That's the one I couldn't have for Duluth because it was level 6.
Yeah.
It was just beyond your reach.
Weren't you level 15? Why didn't you have 6 level spells?
Level 10.
You guys
was
were level
level
10.
Oh
for that
shit, we
one.
were level 10. You're right.
Okay, scroll number 3.
Yep. This one is going to be a fun one. Contingency.
Agency.
I can only imagine what you're going to do with that, and I cannot wait to see what you can do with contingency.
That's going to be wild for sure.
Last 2. You got 2 more.
Last 2. All right.
27.
27.
Chain lightning.
Nice. What was the one before that?
Contingency.
All right. the last
Basically,
one.
you could spend 10 minutes and expend 2 spell slots to pretty much prep a spell to go off with some sort of command or some sort of thing to trigger that you set. So you can say, like, if I get hit, I want this spell to go off. And then throughout that day, if that happens, the spell automatically just goes off.
Just super prepared. Like,
Yeah.
preparing the most prepared spell to ever
It's
spell
like
prepare.
a glyph. It's kind of like a glyph that you just carry with you at all times.
Right, instead of putting it in a spot.
Right. Lastly, double 10s for another 27, and this one is Dream.
Dream.
Ulrich has a dream.
All right. After copying all of those into my book, I am then going to say, okay, now that that's finished, are we ready to make for cosseted Grundle Tractor?
God damn it.
And could you
Grundle
mind
Casa.
in my character from D&D Beyond?
Yeah, I got you.
I wasn't able to change my spells on
That's fine.
Boundary.
As soon as I find where you are. There you are.
I'm
Butch.
hiding.
Jed
You know who's
Butch.
sitting around doing the evil laugh right now is Lindsay.
Because the fact that
Grundle Tractor.
we have to consistently do say Grundle Tractor. All right, you should be good now.
I
So-
do want to, before we leave, ask Hymir something.
Okay, go for it. Easy enough. He's still standing in the corner of the front
So-
porch.
Yeah, so I just kind of walk up to him and say, I've been putting off asking this because ignorance is bliss, but it's also agonizing. Is Rain? Where's Rain? Are they okay? Are they in Rockriel?
You see the corner of his mouth kind of curl up slightly as he closes his eyes and nods to you, and he says, "They are well. They are not in Rockriel currently. They are at sea, doing what they do best,
Tearing shit up.
tearing shit up. That is an elegant way of putting it, yes, but making precise strikes at the enemy as well as providing us with smuggled supplies.
Ooh. Okay.
But they are well.
Okay.
They never quite got over your disappearance.
No. Well, we're back.
I believe
Can
that
you-
they consistently held on hope that you would return, as we all did.
Do they know we're back?
I believe Calliope sent to them. I believe Calliope sent to them as soon as she heard from Elric.
Good. All right. Just a little. I'm just gonna be patient, right? Okay. Let's go. Just turn to heel and fluster away. Thank you.
Well, are
Glenn,
we?
I prepared the sending spell today if you wanted to send a message to her.
Oh, I do. Let's get back to Rockriel. But I gotta think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
adjusting her antlers.
are you all prepared to depart?
Yes.
And Ember, I would like to thank you for your hospitality. Are you joining us in the rest of our quest?
I I'm going to look around my house sadly and say goodbye to it, not knowing if I'll ever be able to come back, but happy that I have a piece of my former life with me. So as long as I can take this baby raccoon with me, then I am definitely interested in going with.
We can use all the help we can get, so we would be very grateful for having someone as with your skills join the cause. Now, I think it is time for us to depart. As you see Hymir walk past and start walking towards a large tree on the outskirts of the clearing. As you all follow, he walks up, says an incantation, makes a few gestures, and you see this tree itself split. You hear cracking of wood as the center of the tree splits open into a lighted portal, and on the other side you see this pea gravel style road with multiple weeds and everything, unkempt weeds sprouting up through it. Quickly, the portal will only last for 6 seconds.
Run on in.
Right through?
Boom, 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 boom. You all run through. The tree behind you collapses back in on itself. You find yourself standing. Ember, this is a new experience for you. You have never been here before. You find yourself standing on this pea gravel roadway lined with tall evergreen trees on both sides. You turn and you see behind you this massive estate, 2 stories, probably 100 feet long, if not longer. You all look. Everybody, go ahead and make a perception check for me as you enter this new area.
Sure is bigger than I thought it would be.
That's what she
Heard
said.
that?
Gwen with a 16, Arnon with a 12, Butch with a
He's
9,
rather distracted. Since he
Ember
got
with a 19, Elric with a 20, Orpheus with an 11. That actually makes sense. Ember, you're one of the first to notice that this large estate, this is a very, to put it in above game terms, this is like, kind of looks like the stereotypical Tuscan winery scene that you see with like the tree-lined gravel driveway that goes up to this massive mansion. However, Ember, you notice that the windows are broken out. The door is busted off the hinges. The large double door one lies on the ground. Elric, you notice that this house looks like it has been ransacked.
Yeah. This place doesn't look so hot.
Hymir turns to you all and says, yes, it was invaded about the time that Rhett found her way back to us, but it helps with the facade. They think that they wiped us out. They are not going to come back. We have luckily, Rhett's family was a bit of... had a bit of paranoia and had an entire bunker built underneath the estate, which is almost the exact same size and almost impossible to enter. So
The mention of Rhett's family, I'm going to lean into Butch and say, how's my breath?
I'd like to roll insight.
Go for it.
Oh boy.
How's his breath?
Smells fine.
Does it
Doesn't
smell sweet?
doesn't
Smells good to a
doesn't
portal from the
doesn't
swamp.
smell fishy at all.
It's fine.
Doesn't smell like fish bacon at all.
Oh, those natural ones.
Honestly, Arnon, your breath smells great.
Thanks, bud.
Everyone, if you wouldn't mind.
No smell, no tell, fish bacon.
Rhett's here?
I don't believe she's here currently. I think she's out on assignment, but
But she's safe. And
She-
she's
yes.
here, like, in this time.
Were you not aware?
She
We were
got
fighting-
disappeared on
Yeah,
us.
we
Yeah, she
were fighting a
said
member of the Unseelie Court, and she vanished.
she said she
Into
was
a whirlwind
pulled,
of glass.
she told us she was pulled through a portal, but
Orpheus is
she
awkwardly
arrived-
trying to hide the fact that he's extremely happy.
She-
That you can see.
Oh, do you have your binder out?
she arrived here about 6 months ago.
Trapper Keeper.
Right at the
Oh my
time.
God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She had arrived here about 6 months ago, right at the time when the demons invaded Rock Rialt and helped us secure the. If, to be honest, if it wasn't for her timely arrival, we would have lost the manor.
We thought we had lost Rhett
Yeah.
entirely. The Mystic Seer informed us that she had survived.
Well, whatever magic
we-
brought her here had an ironic sense of timing, as if it seemed to be at the clutch moment to keep us from losing our main base of operations. Which, speaking of which, if you all would follow me, I'll take you down to see Calliope and the rest. As he starts walking in through that broken front door, you walk in, and in that same marble foyer with the two matching large staircases up to that balcony that you've seen before, only now the marble is cracked and torn, and there's pieces of chips and fragments of it just strewn throughout. There's dust and dirt and debris throughout. You see that there was a large statue in the middle of that court, or in that middle of the foyer, that has been toppled over, broken into multiple pieces, that just lay strewn throughout the floor. You walk down that familiar hallway that you walked down, that the last time you walked down was when with Rhett, as you came to check on her father. And he takes you into that library, the same library, Arnon, that you spent time in. You walk in and things look fairly preserved. A few books thrown off the shelves, scattered across the floor. Dust, layers of dust everywhere. As Hymir walks up to one of the bookshelves, taps a series of books, and then pulls one out, and you see the entire bookshelf as it slides inward and then off to the side. Torchlight lights a large spiral stone corridor that goes down. It's like, please, quickly. Let's go down before any prying eyes see us. As you all follow inside this to the other side of this bookshelf, as he grabs one of the torches and kind of turns it slightly, and the bookshelf slides back into place. Suddenly you hear somebody say, "Put the candle back." Sorry, anyway.
Couldn't resist.
I couldn't. I'm sorry. You walk down for what feels like 5,
Minutes?
10, 15 minutes, but in reality is probably only a matter of seconds, but multiple floors to the underground. Opens up into a hallway that Hymir leads you down. You see doors on either side. And for an underground bunker, for lack of a better term, this is spacious. You're talking probably 10-foot tall ceilings, 15-foot wide corridors. You look up and there's some sort of illusion magic on the ceiling to make it look like sunlight and like almost like a skylight, a series of skylights. If you didn't know any better, you would think you were above ground. You see
Sorry, Ember.
wooden walls on both sides. Please continue. Follow me. Takes you down.
Look, Harry, the ceiling's enchanted.
Jesus Christ. Takes you down a series of doors before seeing a large set of ornate double doors on the left-hand side.
Dumbledore's?
Dumbledore's, exactly. You
What a
take a
coincidence.
moment to, as he walks up and you see these elven carvings of like branches and trees and figures in these large ornate like ebony doors.
So, are these more like Jude Law Dumbledores?
Oh my
God damn
god.
it.
Yes, please.
As
I'll take 2.
As Hymir, Jesus Christ, as Hymir opens the doors, you are greeted with this large, like, what you could imagine at one point was a large dining area that has been repurposed into a war room. There's a large mahogany table that is polished, rich mahogany,
Rich
that is
mahogany.
polished to a
Books.
shine. Probably 13 tops. Or I'm 13, fucking 14. 6 on either side, 1 on each head.
Many
There's-
leather-bound books.
Yeah, there is a massive fireplace on the opposite wall with a roaring fire. The mantle itself, probably 4.5 feet off the ground. The fireplace stretching probably 6 feet wide. It's very much like, if anybody's seen Garden State, the fireplace in the mansion that they're in, very much like that. You see there's multiple mounted animal heads throughout. Standing around the table, looking down at the table, you see Calliope, Casil, Calmley, Rhett's mom.
Which one was Comley?
Rhett's mom.
Oh yeah.
You see a few others in the back. Standing there. As the door opens, they look up and they watch Hymir. And the rest of the group walk in. Silence takes over. You see this look of come across the faces in the room of this look of that they've just seen a ghost. Elric, you look over at one of the heads of the table and you see Amisra standing there, book in hand, as it just falls to the table.
I like hurriedly walk on.
As she meets you halfway and just embraces you.
I'm never going to the Feywild again.
I hope not.
Orpheus walks up to Casil, holds up a secret symbol of the bleeding heart, and shakes his hand.
In
Good to see you're still alive.
deep shake. And then as he's grabbing your wrist, he just pulls you in and wraps another arm around your shoulders.
While all this bonding is going on, Butch says, "It's not a real fire, is it?" He goes over to investigate.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Knowing that Rain, not seeing Rain there, Gwen follows Butch.
Gosh darn it.
It doesn't seem real. Do you want to touch it?
Squirrel.
Yeah, because
Like-
where's all this smoke going? You're going to
Can I
give
grab
away your
his
position.
hand?
Do you grab his hand before he touches it?
Following him
Yes.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Butch reaches out and
Smack
you
it
feel
away.
you feel fucking Gwen's hand grab you and pull you away. Yeah, Gwen, it's a real fucking fire.
Butch is like,
That's-
where is the smoke going?
I'm assuming. Look
Well,
at everything else around
They're
us.
going to
the
know
daylight coming in.
we're here.
I'm
You
sure they have,
see-
like, intricate like pipes and shit.
Rhett's
Pipes and shit.
You see Rhett's mom standing there. However, her hair is significantly shorter, almost buzzed.
Helps.
A patch over one eye. We have plenty of ways to disperse the smoke so it doesn't attract attention.
Like an intricate series of tubes.
An intricate, if that's the way you want to think about it, yes, we have an intricate
we go.
series of tubes.
She's back,
So
baby.
you've had somebody laying some pipe in here?
Well, I mean, if you're offering, we can always use some more pipe laid.
Intricately.
I contemplate touching the fire.
He contemplates jumping into the fire.
Arnon and Rhett's mom getting flirty is in my notes now.
We're,
Let me
Rhett-
know if you need any more of that pipe laid.
Rhett told us that you were all alive, at least when she left you, so we were hoping. I cannot do her fucking accent anymore. God damn it. Harriet, it's your mother. Okay, there we go. We were hoping that you would all find your way back here.
You changed into Hermione and
I know.
She looks so awesome and badass, and then she starts talking like
kind of like Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, God. Oh,
yes.
no. Oh.
To this, Calliope walks over and she says, "We are very grateful you are home. We are very grateful you have found yourself back here." Ember, you see this purple-skinned tiefling, which is a half-demon. Horns kind of curling up, short black hair just below her chin, partially pulled back into this ponytail. You see, at this point, it would be, she would still be in her armor, this like almost gunmetal armor with these intricate blue designs throughout, a large sword attached to her hilt. We have not had a very good time since you have left. I don't know how much Hymir has told you, if anything. But after you left, and we assumed that your mission had failed and that you had all perished, the invasions started. And we have been on the back foot ever since. Hymir kind of looks and he's like, "We have not gotten to the details yet. I figured we would wait until we had them in a secure location before we could fill them in with what they've missed." So she walks over and kind of pulls you all and kind of motions for you all to kind of surround the table. You look down and you see a map of Conticaria as it was before you left, laying on the table. Let me put you all in here real quick. She kind of starts waving over and she's like, I think right before you left, around the time you left, the Mind Flayers invaded Castellatri, led by a dragon that was possessed by the Elder Brain. I believe you all knew about that a little bit right before you left, correct?
We did.
Unfortunately, that was only the first phase of the attack. They took out Castellatri in less than a day, and slowly started setting up defensives around as she waves her fingers around Castellatri. The next phase of the attack was up in... Huh?
Up in here?
Up in here. Hold on a second. I get
Up in here.
I lost my notes.
No, don't make me go all out.
Up in... Yeah.
With
Up
mind flares.
in-
With
yeah.
mind flares.
After that, we had... It was a few weeks later before there were multiple portals that opened around Torchiv. Demons from the abyss started emerging. Quickly took over Torchiv. Our garrisons were easily outnumbered. Easily dispatched. We had to...
By demons?
Demons, yes. Demons from the abyss. They were led by...
Was Soul Wrath with them?
They were led by a Baelor. I'm not sure if it was this Soul Wrath or not, but I would... The general of this army was a large Baelor, so...
A Baelor.
I don't remember if Soul Wrath was a Baelor.
Make a history check with advantage.
21.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
After that, after they entrenched Torchiv and Castellatri, and they started slowly moving out from there. And it was only a matter of time. It was probably about 6 months or so as they slowly started moving, expanding from the Mind Flayers and the Durgar from Castellatri and the demons from Torchiv, before another portal opened. It started in Sukarno. A fire elementals, an army of fire elementals, and led by an Ifrit. They quickly burned the area down, burned it to cinders.
What city was that?
Sukarno, which, if you look on the map, will follow the road north of Rockrialt to the river. They left the city in embers.
How the hell did they get into front?
Well, that's one of the other ones we were going after from the plane of fire. The lamp, remember?
Oh, I remember.
Clearly, we've made them more desperate than I thought.
After the Ifrit and its forces entrenched themselves in Sukarno, it was only a matter of time at that point We were fighting on 3 fronts. We
I
had
get a question
yes,
above the table.
yeah.
What do I know if demons and elementals have to be killed on their own plane like devils do to be killed permanently?
You go ahead and make me another history check. I'll say
Regular?
I'm gonna say regular, yes, because technically the demons are fiends, but elementals are not. So since you have one of each, I'm gonna say go ahead and do it regular.
Do you want me to do 2 different rolls? Or?
Sure, you can do one at advantage and one regular.
All right, here's an advantage.
You have no idea. That's a 10.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It's almost like I brought my dice from
Yeah, you
Friday
did.
with me. Okay, here's the other one.
No.
So a dirty 20 on the
Dirty
elemental.
20. You know, you've never heard that elementals need to be killed on their own plane. From what you've read, they seem to have the same. There's nothing special about elementals.
Nothing special.
But after the elementals and the Ifrit took over Sukarno, the demons took over Torchiv, and the mind flayers took over Castellatre, it was only a matter of time. We slowly started losing land, left and right.
So have you had any attacks from, I don't know, a vampire?
It's funny you say that.
Oh, shit.
As of up till about 6 months ago, it was just these 3. These 3 heads, these 3 armies. Once they eliminated our forces and annexed almost all of Conticaria, our remaining forces were stuck in Rockrialt. We were defending the last little bit of land we had left. That's when the resistance, as we are now known, unfortunately, we went from an army with a country to a resistance. But I digress. We were held up here, upstairs, in the actual manor. We were being attacked by this Baelor and his troops. That's when Rhett appeared. She helped us fight them off and at least get us to a point where we could escape down into the tunnels. And unfortunately for us, Kalme over here has enough of her elven magic that she was able to disguise the tunnels so that they could not find their way down. They still, to this point, as far as I know, they do not know that we're down here. But it was after that the new force, after they steamrolled through the capital, after they steamrolled through Rockrialt, a new leader showed up. A new head of their army that seemed to kind of command this Baelor and the Ifrit and their forces as well. I have not gotten close enough to find whether or not he is a vampire, but he is a tall, pale-skinned man, long black hair, who kind of fits all of the typical things you would say just to describe a vampire.
Total douche.
That is one way of putting it, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like him.
He showed up about 6 months ago and kind of claimed lordship over all of Conticaria.
What happened to the royal family here in Rockrialt?
We have not heard from the Emperor or any of his family for the better part of a year. We do not know if they have survived or not.
Do you know the new lordship over Conticaria's name?
We have not heard one way or the other. There are rumors and speculations, but if you give me a minute, I will look in my notes and let you know.
Thank you.
I believe we have not heard for sure, but I believe he goes by the name of Sergei.
Okay.
What was Strahd's first name? No, it is Strahd.
Strahd von
It's-
Zarovich.
Ah, okay.
And she said they knew him by the name of Sergei, whoever was the one who is now claiming lordship over Conticaria.
What? I'm sorry, above board. Remind me, what country does Hymir represent?
Mesh. Mesh with Butch and Gwen.
Okay, recalling that, I'm going to ask the commander, does Mesh still stand?
Mesh still stands there. Luckily, it seems like over the past 3 years, the Shan's main goal was to eliminate Conticaria. The druids of Mesh still hold the Thorn Wall. So they have still been able to keep Shan at bay. Their focus has been on us.
Is there like a particular reason why that you know?
Well, if I were to venture a guess, I would say probably because we pissed them off. And I'm not blaming you all, but you all
Our bag.
kind of... And she kind of looks at the rest of the team around you. She's like, I'm not blaming you specifically because you fucking did your job and you did it very, very well, but I'm assuming the fact that you eliminated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their 9 generals probably pissed them off a little bit.
Oh, I'm sensitive.
So they decided to come back at us at full force.
Get better generals to Tivolis.
No doubt.
Elric's applying.
Speaking of generals, you should know what happened to us in encountering Twilight Coven.
I am all ears.
Over the course of about a week.
About a week ago. Anyway.
It's been 1 week. There was more traversal of the plains than we had. We had actually encountered a group of sky sailors, I think is the best name that I could come up for them. A group of sky sailors that apparently gone missing more than 150 years ago. For them, it had only been maybe a year. After encountering them, and then encountering on a different plane, an entire world, goblins had ruled an entire land unto themselves. I'm gonna write a report and let you know exactly what happened there. It was very strange, but it took us time to find the Princess of the Unseelie in search of perhaps someone that could point us in the direction of the Twilight Coven. We were met with hostility, and unfortunately, in that battle where we thought we had lost, we eliminated Princess Nintra of the Unseelie. Coming to the conclusion that the Unseelie were going to be of no help, we at first sought or at least were going in the direction of seeking advice, guidance, or assistance of the Seelie Court. We then got divine intel, basically telling us that going directly to the Twilight Coven was our best option. We did. And we won, of course. But the strange thing that we noticed after defeating them was there was a set of containers of flesh that once we had eliminated the Seelie Court, these vials started to grow. After some investigation, it became clear to us that these vials were to act as replacement bodies for when they had died. We were fortunate enough to have eliminated the Coven's replacement bodies in time. But there was a vial that was already destroyed. That vial was for Strahd von Zarovich.
Strahd, the vampire that you eliminated in the Shadowfell.
The very same. That's a broken vial that we can account for. There's no telling how many others are out.
So do you believe this Strahd is potentially the vampire that you mentioned that has taken up lordship here, this Sergei?
That is, in my opinion, our best case.
Arnon, make a history check real quick.
Regular?
You can do advantage.
25.
I don't know if Scott remembers the name Sergei, but Arnon would.
That was the brother, wasn't it?
That was the brother.
Not an ice skater.
Correct.
The sword also called itself Sergei.
The sword was
It
the...
says
yeah.
Sam. I don't know that Gwen knows that.
The sword was the soul of the brother trapped in the sword.
Also, not an ice skater. I know that much.
It's at this time... Oh, continue.
I was going to say,
No much.
worst case scenario,
But I know he's not an ice skater.
we have no idea how long Strahd has been free, and even worse, we don't know how long it's been taking the time to create sires of his own.
Well, that is disturbing intel. Seems like every time we take one of these out, these generals out, 3 more pop up in its wake. And at that moment, you hear the door slam open, and you hear, "Oh, speaking of wakes, I got plenty of shit for you this time, Jenner." And then the voice stops dead as you see Rain walk in and just drop these 2 huge sacks that they're carrying. And they're like, just pale-faced, looking around, and then their eyes lock on you, Gwen. Son of a bitch. Just run over to you and just embrace you.
Just collide.
God damn, girl. I thought I lost you.
We're here. We're back. We're back, and I'm so glad you're okay.
Well, this is a very nice welcome, but did you actually fucking come here for a reason, Rain, this time? She's like, give me a second. Yeah, I got supplies for you. I got weapons and fucking food and shit in those bags. You can look through it. I just threw my pen. It has been 3 fucking years.
It was only 8 days for us.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, Feywild's fucked, Rain.
Well, clearly.
It's so fucked.
Don't ever fucking go there again, please.
I won't. I'm done.
And just
You have to go back.
I would rather... You know what, I'm not going to bring it into existence, but there are plenty of places I would rather be than there. Here, now, being the top one.
make a perception check for me, Gwen.
Perception? 24. I see with my special eyes.
It's not something you see so much as something you feel. Phrasing. Sorry. No.
Here?
Oh my!
As they embrace you and they say, I had faith that you were still alive somewhere out there and that you would make your way back here. You feel their hand on your wrist and you feel their thumb kind of moving the bracelet back and forth on your wrist.
What did they say?
Said that I had a feeling you were still alive out there somewhere and that you would make your way back to us.
Ulrich was trying to let the general know where we were, but I'm glad you didn't give up.
Calliope was trying to send messages damn near every single day for the past 3 years trying to find you guys.
Do I feel anything? Like, is the bracelet's not doing anything,
No.
right? Okay. Do they still have the bracelet I made?
Yeah.
Are you back for long?
It depends on what Calliope's got planned for me next. I just was off the coast raiding a couple Shanian ships trying to find supplies and came back with a pretty decent haul this time. The general kind of turns and it's like, well, I think now that we have our team back, Perhaps it is time to start changing the tide of this war. It's time for us to start finding allies to fight with.
General,
Yes, Butch.
did you have allies in mind? I had planned on contacting Sunny Mumbo to seek her advice on this matter.
That is a fantastic idea. There are a few, and while extraplanar allies would probably be very beneficial, I believe that there might be a few allies a little more local that we might be able to entice. And Gwen, with your 24 and perception check there, you notice that the general is currently staring at Rain as she says these things. And Rain is potentially, is kind of trying to not meet her gaze. Says, I believe there are a few untapped allies that we might be able to call on for aid. You hear this exasperated sigh coming from Rain. It's like, all right, I mean, we can go talk to him, but like I told you before, it's been a long fucking time since I've spoken to them. I can't guarantee they're going to come to our rescue. Well, what other choice do we have? They're a formidable fighting force, and they could help us out in our time of need. Ah, shit. Well, if we're going to do this, y'all want to come with?
Where are we going? Yes.
Apparently,
Sorry, if it's with you, yes. But where?
Apparently, we're going to go see my family.
Oh, let's meet the parents.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and end it for the night. So,
She's not a windy douchebag, right? She's a moist douchebag.
she's a moist douchebag. Yes. And they are a moist douchebag.
Good news, neither one of those words is on the ban list.
Fantastic.
Do you think she knows the Stiffy McMoist boxes?
So, we will...
What happened in the Feywild stays in the Feywild.
That's what you think, buttholes.
we will continue this next... Jesus Christ.
Jenkins.
Like
All
how
right.
you neglected to tell the general that you lit us on fire twice.
It
that
should
report
better
there.
be in the report.
Yeah, I put in the report what's relevant.
Did
We're going to
you-
have
did-
to get Emery a KFC bucket to put in the background.
No, no, no.
So, on that note, thank you all for sticking with us, and we will see you again on Tuesday, where we will continue this new arc in the story of Conticaria and the war against Shan. So, join us next Tuesday at twitch.tv/thosenaturalones, youtube.com/@thosenaturalones, kick.com/thosenaturalones, and trovo.live/s/thosenaturalones, because they have to be different. Anyway, thank you all, and we will see you next week.
Where hopefully we don't roll a natural one, making friends instead of enemies.
We will see you in 1 week. Have a fantastic evening.